balls of steel. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, dying times here.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to the Lord of Toxicity. And joined today by the Northern English Bastard. And we're talking about Netflix's newest attempt to stay viable called HAVOC, starring Tom Hardy and Timothy Olyphant in a kind of John Woo wannabe shoot 'em up. Northern English Bastard, how are you today, sir?
I'm doing well, and welcome, you beautiful bastards, to this so-called show. And yeah, I've just got off watching this as well, not too long ago, before you started the stream.
And what are give me some fresh out of the Netflix theater opening thoughts.
It is fucking balls to the wall, bloody action that's incredibly ridiculous. It's got a very dark mood. If you've seen films like The Raid and The Raid 2 by Garth Edwards, it's kind of a little bit like that. It doesn't top it, but if you ever watch a film like where you think, okay, this could be a really great video game, this is definitely one of them.
Okay. Well, for the uninitiated and you haven't had a chance to watch it yet, it has just dropped on Netflix. I think about yesterday or early yesterday or late yesterday. I can't remember when. And it's one of those kind of, you can have it on in the background. You don't need to pay too much attention to it. I thought at first it might be like a thoughtful crime story thriller. So I was kind of super paying attention to it. But in very quick form, it delves into like ridiculous John Woo gun porn, like really, really fast. So the basic premise of the story is Tom Hardy is part of a squad of cops. They've done something illegal, which you don't find out until later exactly what it is that they've done. They're kind of under the thumb of this political figure that's in the city, and his son and his son's girlfriend have gotten themselves involved in the Chinese mafia, I think. Is it the Chinese?
It looks like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they all look the same to me anyway, but so they've gotten involved in the Chinese mafia, owe them some sort of debt. And so they start getting into hijacking drug dealers and things like that. And that leads to what we find out later to be some of the dirty cops have, they have gotten more dirty, and they wind up executing the son of the head of the Chinese crime faction. And she is out for revenge. And the mayor, I guess he's a mayor or he's a city councilman or something, but Forrest Whitaker plays this high political figure, and he enlists Tom Hardy into, getting his son out of harm's way in order to, get him out of the city and hide him or something like that. Tom Hardy, out of the group of crooked cops, is the only one that's sort of halfway reliable, I guess is the best way I could describe that. What do you think? Anything? Did I miss anything there?
Yeah, it seems very like that. He's like, he's kind of corrupt, but he's like the less corrupt of them all. He's like, he's trying to get out of it, really. He's sort of like very cynical and hardened, and he does basically make this movie. He really does. He makes the most of this movie. He still kind of makes this worth watching. But I'll get more into the plot holes with the crooked cops, and hopefully he might be able to establish a little bit more if it's a plot hole or not. But you carry on first before I do.
Well, I will say, moving forward, I don't know how to describe this movie any better than we already have without indicating that there are going to be spoilers about this. So if you're super interested in this paper thin plot and you need to know about it ahead of time, then, or you don't want to know about it ahead of time, you probably don't want to, stick around for this, because we're probably going to wind up spoiling it even on accident, just talking about what it is that goes on with it, because I don't think there's any way you can really discuss it, because besides the balls to the wall action of it, it just winds up being a really thin plot going on. It's basically that the one character who you never really learn that much about, that's the son of the Forrest Whitaker's political figure, has done something or is perceived to have done something that crosses the Chinese mafia, and then they're after him, and the rest of it is just Tom Hardy trying to get that guy and his girlfriend out of the city. And not really much else. I mean, there's a couple things that are going to happen that involve the main characters, but I mean, mostly it's just ridiculous amounts of shoot 'em up with like unlimited ammo and very accommodating male stuntmen for female antagonists and protagonists. So yeah, so that's about it.
I know, because there is a lot of plot holes here, and there is a couple of times where I will say this. Apart from one fucking scene which did take me out, Tom Hardy isn't really made to look like a fucking idiot in front of his other female counterparts, but especially with the female cop at the beginning, because the first thing they're doing when they're investigating the crime scene is like he's telling her, all right, what kind of bullet holes are these? And she's struggling to find out what, and he's like, it's the assault rifle. Do you see an assault rifle? I kind of likes that. Okay, I kind of like that this female cop that he works with is a little bit naive as well. She's not totally experienced, and yeah, she does kind of become a little bit more of an action heroine at the end, and but everyone kind of is a bit exaggerated. The action is very exaggerated. No one fights like that in real life, and no one shoots like that in real life. And I can deal with the unlimited ammo. It kind of goes back to John Woo and Hard Boiled, where Chow Yun-fat is sliding down the barister and he's unloading these two Berettas and he's not fucking reloading. I can deal with that.
See, I've never been a big fan of those movies, and the one John Woo or the two John Woo movies that I have seen were the American versions, Hard Target and Face Off. And in those, they go to great pains. I mean, they're probably not like 100% accurate, but I can suspend disbelief a little bit. But they wind up doing a thing where they do show a lot of reloading, and it actually makes the action look cooler. But in this one, like they're just like, there's one scene where a dude has a modified Glock and he's just spitting ammo. Like, listen, let me tell you, when you pull the trigger on one of those things, you get like one little, and then that's it. Those things are empty. And then you have the one female Chinese assassin, and she's got a Mac 10 that just, I mean, dude, it's like she was playing GTA 4 and had the cheat code for unlimited ammo on it. Like, it is ridiculous.
Yeah, did you see when she held a shotgun with one hand? I mean, come on, how the fuck has that not broke her little skinny wrist?
Yeah. No, it's crazy, man. Sorry for all the Lilo and Stitch keeps popping up on this thing.
Yeah, but it's Internet Movie Database. I mean, they start putting like little ads in for other things when you're trying to go through the specific images.
Yeah.
But yeah, the performances are pretty good. I mean, it's not a lot to work with, but they do pretty well in the roles they're given. I mean, Tom Hardy this is one of the few times where he plays an American and he doesn't look like he's fucking drunk or struggling to say his lines half the time. Because he kind of goes a little bit like weird and drawly when he goes American, but he actually looks like he's more focused in this role, and he's actually.
I kind of felt like his role. I kind of felt like it's. I don't know if you ever saw him in that MMA movie Warrior.
Yeah, that was another good. I think that was another good one where he plays an American. I
feel like he does a lot of that in this. Like his character's very, very similar to that in this one, but yeah, it's just
it speaks more Tom Hardy with an American accent.
I like the basic bare bones premise of the story. This has been done. Like Liam Neeson did a movie like this about 5 or 6 years ago called Run All Night or something like that, and where he has to get the kid out of the city. I mean, I like that. I like those kind of the extraction movies are kind of like that, and I really feel like that's what they were trying to go for with this bombastic like. But the difference is in Extraction, I find Chris Hemsworth to be very believable in that role, and not that I don't think that Tom Hardy is, but it's just they go to great pains in the Extraction movies. I don't know if you ever seen them, but they go to great pains to have these like long extended shots, and whereas this one there's so many cuts, it's like, dude, you're gonna like if you have any kind of mental health issues, you're gonna have a freaking seizure with all the quick cuts and stuff. So it just winds up being one of those things where after a while it pulls you out of the narrative of the story. So,
Yeah, I
I
don't
don't,
know why. I don't know why, but somehow in the raid he gets away with it a bit more because maybe it's because there's not a lot of like CGI shots as well in that one as there is in this. Because there were a few times where I could tell I'm watching CGI and it looks like a video game.
I don't know, dude. It's funny you say that because I felt like all of uh, I felt like all of the scenes that show the city, I felt like all of them looked fake as fuck. They looked like PlayStation 2 uh cutaway scenes. Like every time
I
somebody was
agree.
like the whole driving thing, the hijacking scene in the beginning where they were driving just looked like fake PlayStation 2 scenes. So I mean, I don't know. What did you think of the female cop partner?
I thought she was all right. She didn't come across as a fucking girl boss because, like I said at the beginning, Tom Hardy is actually showing her all the details that she's missing in the case, and she's a little bit naive and she nearly gets killed. But it's the very lesbian looking triad assassin who took me out of the movie a little bit because she's throwing Tom
Yeah,
Hardy around like a fucking rag doll. I mean, he's bigger than her. He could fucking kill her.
yeah. Jesse Lee, I guess, is the name of that. Not the assassin. She's the female cop partner. I thought she was okay. Also, the girlfriend of Forrest Whitaker's son is what's her name is
Yeah, she seems to be handling herself in the fight scenes a bit too well.
a little
Also,
too well, a little too.
yeah,
I don't even know how to pronounce this. Keeling
Quelling Sepulveda,
Sepulveda.
yeah, something like that.
Yeah. See, this is when you need Lance from Outcast Creative because he'd be like, "Oh, I know her. I rate her as an actress. So, I worked with her. She did a play. She did a play for me once, and back in Hampshire. And yeah, she's really good. Yeah, I've not seen anything that she's been in at all, like
yeah,
at all, at all.
yeah. I think there might have been a bit too much plot armor on this character. But this could have been a good character, just make her a bit more vulnerable. But I do like the balls to the wall action a little bit. I like how you do feel every hit, and the gore is not held back. I mean, they really go all in on the fucking gore, but there was a few times that was taking me out of it. Okay, why is this triad guy gunning down people in the hospital? I mean, he's attracting way too much attention. I don't know if he was willing to go out dying anyway, but I don't know. It felt a bit stupid. I mean, if you're gonna take someone out in the hospital, do it in a way that's not going to get you fucking noticed.
Wow, this is interesting. Take a look at this. Let me see if I can pull this up. I always like this random trivia. So apparently, this was done filming in 2021, and they didn't release it until now. I wonder why that is.
Jesus Christ! Yeah, it makes a lot of bloody sense. All these reshoots.
Apparently, it was supposed to go to theaters, but then they re-released it to this. So that's interesting. Huh. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, it's listen. Okay, well, let me say a couple good things about it since I've been a dick and I haven't said anything nice about it. I'll try to do something decent. So I will say this: Tom Hardy, he shows up. He's doing a good job. It's not one of my favorite performances of his, but it's not bad. But I will also say that I didn't dislike the female cop partner. I didn't think she was too, and some of the stuff she does is pretty smart. I mean, obviously, you have this one scene where the cop is in the ICU. He's part of the squad, and I thought that was pretty cool. That it's like, oh, you got to go protect so and so because he's Chavez or whatever. He's in the ICU and his wife's there, and blah blah blah. The freaking Chinese assassin guy goes in there, not only kills him but kills the wife. I was like,
I
whoa.
know.
I was like,
Yeah, I was just talking about that because yeah, he's attracting a lot of attention. He's going in guns blazing instead of trying to do it in a very sneaky
you
way.
think what's going to happen is she's going to come in at the last second,
Yeah,
but he just goes in there and just like wastes the dude.
yeah, there are still good qualities to this film. I just think I think it could have been rewritten a little bit better. Maybe there was a better film there, and the reshoots kind of fucked it up because that seems to be the case these days.
Yeah. Other than that, her move to bring him to like, because the thing obviously comes to a standoff with them, and her bringing him in and saying, hey, this was all a setup, he was part of it, blah blah blah, and then he's got his own guys within the faction that are fighting within the faction. Like, I thought that was pretty cool. I always like that, but it's just it hits you with so much fast and unrelenting violence and shooting that you kind of can't, it's hard to track what's going on. Now, I mean, obviously I had a few beers while I was watching it, but even I don't think, even if I was stone cold sober, I would have been able to track all the action. That's what, and I'm not saying you always got to do that John Woo dove flying in the air, super slow-mo stuff that like Mission Impossible 2 and Face Off and Hard Target did. But what I am saying is, like, I got to be able to kind of like breathe for a second and see what's going on. So the quick cuts are just, they're out of control. And I honestly, Timothy Oliphant, one of my favorite actors from the TV show Justified, he's completely wasted in the role that he's in. They could have gotten any bargain basement actor to play that character. Like, it was so dumb. And as soon as you see him on screen, he's going to be the bad guy, or at least one of the bad guys. I thought the club shootout was pretty cool. That one wasn't too bad.
The fights were fucking really well done, very brutal, very visceral, and like I said,
I always like a three-way battle, like where you have like three different entities battling, with maybe conflicting goals or whatever. I think of like, but something like Collateral does it really well, where they have the cartel hitmen are in there, and you have Jamie Foxx and Tom Cruise, and they're in there doing their thing, and they got the cops and the feds are in there, and then they're all, some are trying to protect the asset, Henry Lim or whatever, and then the other ones are trying to kill him. So I kind of like that when that goes on, and it's chaos and everybody's kind of doing their own thing, and you have different people, but at the same time, it's like, I got to be able to breathe, I got to be able to see what's happening. And the quick cuts are just really disorienting. So, that's about it. I mean, how did you feel about how the way it ended and stuff?
Yeah, it kind of felt like this ending was done better in Insomnia. You got the cop with the dark past, and he kind of dies as well, redeeming himself, while the young upstart kind of gets to live on and be the honest cop, blah, 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 all that stuff. But there was another thing that was bothering me as well. I mean, why didn't Timothy Oliphant just sort of like find a way to kill Tom Hardy in the secret and cover it up? This guy's practically been a liability. He could blow that. It's like, just right. Tom Hardy's character has already established that he's not too fond with the cover up. So out of the thinking, you know what, we need to cap this guy. He's going soft on us.
I guess I thought, another dead cop is never good. And on top of that, it's one of those things where I feel like they were friends and they just kind of had a falling out or whatever. But, at the same time, it's just like, I think he thought that Tom Hardy's character was going to, kind of jump on the team or whatever. So, I mean, I don't know, whatever that's worth. Anything else?
Yeah, there's not much I can think about at the moment. Not much I can come to. I mean, it's a mixed bag. There's some decent action. It's balls to the wall. It doesn't really hold back on the gore, but it's very thin on plot and character development a little bit. And once again, there was a couple of like bits of plot armor that did verge on the girl boss a tiny bit, but I don't think it was totally offensive or spiteful, because Tom Hardy still comes across as a very competent guy, apart from the fucking assassin slamming him into a post and in that fucking shed scene. But it is kind of just a very simple film that probably has been butchered in with all the reshoots, maybe.
Well, with it sitting on the shelf for 4 years, it seems like maybe somebody was tinkering around with it a little too much. I really don't know. I don't know what happened with this. I mean, I don't know. I guess 2021 COVID was still going on technically, but I mean, other than that, like, I don't get what they were what the big holdup with that was. I mean, if they'd have slowed it down a little bit so where it could kind of breathe and maybe have a little bit of a mixed bag of John Woo action type stuff and, crime thriller, I think they could have had something kind of cool, but it's just another Netflix hodgepodge thing. I mean, I would much prefer to watch an Extraction movie than this. This is like a cheap version of Extraction.
Yeah, because at least with Extraction, I mean, they still kept the camera steady, and when you get those long shots, it's very steady, and you can see every hit, every punch, every kick, every fucking neck break, all that good stuff that we love in these action movies.
Yeah. Well, what would you get it? 1 out of 5? What are you giving it?
I'd probably give it a 6 out of 10, maybe a 2.5 out of 5.
I'm gonna go ahead and just give it probably a 4 out of 10, just due to the fact that it's got the unlimited ammo thing just really irks the shit out of me. Like, it was driving me. My girlfriend and I were watching it, and we're both shooters, obviously. And it was just like, dude, come on, dude, especially with the shotgun one, because I mean, you can kind of you could kind of headcanon in a cutaway scene that, like, if someone's shooting an automatic, like maybe they reloaded the mag when the scene cut away for a second, but like with the shotgun, there's no getting around that. So it was so ridiculous. And then, like, people are either getting hit a lot or they're not getting hit at all, which was another thing. You know what I mean? Like, people are either getting shot like a ridiculous amount of times, or they're like dodging bullets.
I was laughing my ass off when one of the crooked coppers just got riddled fully with bullets. I was like, Jesus Christ, you really need to shoot this bastard. I think he's dead already.
I did like the thing with the where the girlfriend with the unpronounceable name, Mia, whatever, with the axe, when she just picks up the axe and, like, she just starts, like, chopping into people. I thought that was pretty cool. That was well done. Because you don't, that's the cool thing about having an axe or a blade or a machete. You don't have to reload it. You just keep hitting people with it, which she did to great effect. So, I mean, listen, if you want to turn your brain off and just see a bunch of boom, boom action, crazy violence, this will do fine. You can pop this on and enjoy it. I'm actually really interested to see what anybody else has to say about this, because maybe we're taking it too seriously and being too much of a dick about it. I don't know, but I'm just being honest. It's just my fresh out of the theater or fresh out of Netflix reviewing honest opinion. So, I mean, and you don't seem to have too much of a different opinion than me, so I guess I'm not being too much of a dick.
I know, because I was kind of on board with this probably for the fair start, because it did seem very interesting, and I do like these very dark noirish Christmas movies, even though it's nearly fucking summer and I don't want to watch a Christmas movie at this time.
Right.
But,
right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you got anything you want to plug real quick?
I will probably review this later on. Probably got another few maybe bastard talks bollocks, because I want to try and talk about the BBC drama Three Girls, which seems to be getting a little bit more attention as well after Adolescence is used as a political power move against toxic masculinity. So that might be worth talking about.
That dirty toxic masculinity.
Yes.
Bad men, bad women, good. Yeah. All right, big guy. Well, hey, thanks for jumping on and doing this with me real quick. And I want to thank all the people in the audience, all 0 of you. Thank you for tuning in. Hopefully people are going to take a look at this on a rewatch. Maybe it's my fault for not advertising it enough. I don't know, but it didn't get shut down. So I say yay for me. So until next time, stay toxic, everybody.
Riding on the wings of destruction, a toxic presence, a lord of corruption, polluting the ocean, spreading decay, the toxic black, going the rain, searing through the sand.
I've got balls of steel.